Hi, I'm Jeff Jower.
And I'm Rick Levine, and we're here today with a special focus on Virgo.
Virgo is a sign that is usually criticized more than it should be, because Virgo is the sign that cleans up after Leo. And you know, if you have a circus in town, those lions leave a mess behind.
Yeah, it's interesting that you said that, because I think that Virgo is one of the signs. There are a few signs that are misunderstood. And I think Virgo is one of the signs that's not understood. People are hard on Virgos, and maybe it's because Virgos are hard on reality.
Absolutely. It's Virgo is an earth sign. The earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo, are more about dealing with life as it is in a down-to-earth and realistic way. Virgo is also a mutable or adaptable or refining earth sign. So Virgo has to do with using earth energy or real-world energy or physical energy in the most efficient way possible and on the road to reducing waste. Virgo can be a little bit picky and a little bit critical.
Well, its job actually is being critical. In the body, Virgo represents what happens in our colon, where the body actually decides what's assimilated, what can be used, and what's going to be passed along. That's a Virgo decision. Virgo's key planet Mercury, which has already appeared in our discussions in Gemini, where Mercury is data shuffling. In Virgo, Mercury isn't interested in data shuffling. It's interested in binary mathematics. And here's what happens in Virgo. The same thing that happens in our colon. Virgo goes, this is okay. This is not okay. This is okay. This is okay. This is not okay. This is yes, no, 0, 1. It's that sorting through information to see what meets the critical components that I've set up and what doesn't, and that's really what a Virgo does.
Yeah, and whereas Gemini, Mercury's other sign, is data. It's information. It's like piles of papers, doesn't care. Virgo needs to weave things together, those strands of data information, into a useful and meaningful whole. And as you pointed out, Rick, in another way, that brings up editing. You have to cut things out. That's part of Virgo's job, which is why the sign's function doesn't look as brassy and bold and outgoing and generous and adventurous, because it's trying to make the world work. But lately I've been thinking about, because I saw a TV show in which there was some wonderful criticism of a dancer. Virgo is a sign of criticism, and I saw an example of criticism that was so precise that it was technically useful. We call that constructive criticism. Right. And I think that's an important way to put Virgo in a healthy context. It's one thing to point out flaws, which Virgo is very good at. It's another to describe how to repair them.
Well, the other thing that's important to understand as we talk about Virgo, we've talked about each sign in relationship to its glyph or its totem. And with Virgo, Virgo is actually Latin for virgin. But here it's an important thing to understand that in the Greek culture, virgins were women who were not property. They were either the temple priestesses or the prostitutes. And they didn't have the negative judgment that it has now. But the point is that other women were property, which meant that a woman who was owned as a wife could not say no. And the idea of Virgo being that point in the Zodiac where we can have that choice of saying, I own my own decisions of knowing what's useful to me and what's not. Therefore, I'm going to say no, yes, no, no, yes. That's a big thing. And that's what the true meaning behind the concept of Virgo being the virgin is.
Right. And that notion that Virgo isn't sexual is not true. It's an earth sign. Earth is the body. It's just about being discriminating in what we do, how we do it, who we do it with. It is the care in choosing how we engage in the physical world, not a denial of the pleasures of the flesh, which is, I think, a very big part of the sign of Virgo. I'm Jeff Jower.
And I'm Rick Levine.